The night the rain came, Oiza lost more than her mother. She lost her world. Trembled, and I held her hand tighter. By morning, the house was quiet. Neighbors moved like ghosts, wrapping her in white cloth beneath the pale sky. I stood in the doorway, my bare feet cold on the wet earth. The world felt too big for one small girl. Auntie pressed my shoulder gently and said, "Be strong." But my strength was a small cup already cracked. The pot sang alone that evening, boiling only water. The smoke rose, and I stirred it just to hear a sound. The stool where Baba used to sit waited by the fire, empty and cold, like a forgotten song. I listened for his whistle. For Mama's hum, only the crickets answered me. I ate 2 spoons of watery porridge and stopped. Even hunger needs company. Morning painted the paths gold. Women carried basins. Children laughed, and I walked among them like a shadow. I balanced my calabash on my head, the road long but kind under my feet. "Sorry, Oiza," people said. I nodded and kept walking, my heart learning silence. At the stream, I saw my face in the water. It looked older than yesterday. The big drum stood by the wall at school, quiet and proud. Teacher asked me to beat it for assembly, but my hands were heavy like rain-soaked cloth. The sound came dull, as if the drum shared my sadness. After class, she gave me chalk and said, "Write your name." My letters were neat, but my heart was messy. Auntie Candy took me in. Her compound buzzed with goats, cousins, and chores. She pointed near the door. "That's your mat," she said. "You'll work and learn." I washed plates until the moon yawned and the water turned silver. When I finally lay down, dust rose and settled on my tears. Market day smelled of smoke and roasted corn. I carried Auntie's basket through colors and noise. A sly boy tried to slip his hand inside. I caught him quick, my fingers firm. He blinked and ran, smiling like a thief in training. The basket felt lighter after that. Maybe courage had weight. That night, the moon was full and round, watching me like a kind elder. I whispered, "Moon, please keep my parents where the light is." The wind moved through leaves, carrying small voices of comfort. I slept beneath that silver eye and woke with less fear. On my way to fetch water, something bright winked at me from the ground. A small cowrie shell, shining like a secret gift from the earth. Grandma once said, "When the road gives you a shell, listen first." So I listened. I heard only my breath. Still, I tied it in my wrapper's corner. It felt like a friend. Old Baba Danlami's hut smelled of smoke and stories. Children gathered close, eyes wide as the moon. I sat at the back, hugging my knees, afraid to blink. He told of a tortoise who lost his way and found his wisdom again. "Home," he said, "is not only a house. Sometimes it's your courage." At the river, I slipped. My calabash floated away like a fleeing dream. I remembered Baba's words, "Follow the water, not the fear." I waited carefully. The calabash bumped a root and waited for me. I laughed. The river laughed too, sparkling like it understood. The pot was empty that night, and my stomach sang louder than crickets. I carried my cowrie to the market and stood before a woman selling sweet bread. She smiled, broke the bread in half, and said, "Keep your shell. Pay me with a song." So I sang Mama's lullaby, soft and slow, and the bread tasted like sunrise. Her name was Amina, slim as a flute, her laughter light as wind. We shared groundnuts under a mango tree, cracking shells and trading secrets. "I miss my mother too," she said quietly, "and we didn't need more words. Sometimes friendship is 2 hands breaking 1 handful of groundnuts like a forgiven child." In Baba's old shirt, I found a letter folded like a secret prayer. It spoke of dreams, a small shop for Mama selling soap and salt. The paper glowed under candlelight, and my tears joined the ink. I read it 3 times, then pressed it to my chest. Some promises never die. I began saving, not coins yet, just favors and faith. I swept for the tailor, who gave me cloth scraps to sell. I stacked onions, cloth, and soap on a tray by the roadside. People came, some to buy, some just to smile. Hope is also a market. The sky broke open early that day, spilling rain like a calabash of tears. My tray flipped. Onions rolled like tiny moons across the mud. I wanted to cry, but Mama's voice sang in memory. Rain falls, seeds listen. I gathered what I could with Amina, and we laughed under a zinc roof. Teacher called again, Oiza, beat the drum. This time my heart was ready. I raised my hands. They felt lighter than ever. The drum thundered, the schoolyard danced, and laughter filled the air. For the first time, I felt tall, taller than my worries. I poured my savings on the mat. Coins, soap, onions, and dreams. Auntie watched from the door, her eyes softer than her voice. I'm building their promise, I said, touching Baba's letter. She smiled, fetched a plank, and said, Then let's build it together. We painted the small kiosk blue, the color of clear sky after rain. I lined soaps like soldiers, salts like pyramids, onions like small suns. People stopped to watch, to buy, to smile. My heart beat steady like the drum. By sunset, our jar clinked with coins, and my smile refused to fade. That night, I sat by the kiosk, moonlight painting my face. I touched the cowrie in my wrapper and whispered, Thank you for listening. I was still an orphan, but not alone. My parents' promise lived in me. When I closed the stall, the night air was warm. Home had found me in my own courage.